for transportation. Thank you for inviting us into your office. Last time you were in my office, now I'm in your office.
Thank you, Bernard. We are happy to host you here. We are in a sector that embraces everybody. And coming here, you did through transport. Coming to your office, I also come through transport. That is what it means to be in the Ministry of Transport.
Wonderful. You've been in the news a lot. Last week, Parliament approved the appropriation, and one of the big items was your ministry's appropriation, which I'm told is lower than what was for the year before. That's one. Then you also passed the Road Traffic Amendment Bill, a very controversial bill which we will talk about. But the most immediate issue has been, because of Christmas, there's been a lot of traffic in town. And I think last week or two, you announced some intervention. Can you, let's start from there. What was the intervention aimed to do, and is it working since you announced it?
Thank you, Bernard. And let me say that God has been gracious to us, giving us the strength and energy to be able to, on a daily basis, work as we also do so to get the Ghanaian people the needed services that they want from us. And again, God has been good in giving our President, His Excellency John Dramani Mahama, the vision and wisdom that he guides us on a daily basis on our activities. We are so grateful, and we believe that with this kind of guidance and then directives, we will be able to improve upon the transport sector. That you rightly said, if the transport sector is functioning efficiently and effectively, it is that will propel the economy to do well. And so working the transport sector tells you that, look, you have to put in your best to be able to have the kind of mobility that will oil or grease our country's economy. Now, the year had been a bit difficult, being the first year. Not difficult in terms of how to execute your duties, but in terms of how to get the Ghanaian people appreciate what on daily basis we are supposed to do to support government efforts. The ministry's budget was approved by Parliament, and it is what we presented to the Minister for Finance, and we believe that will be able to see us manage or run the ministry. Again, you talked of the emergency buses we organized to support our commuters after work. It has come to our notice that most of our drivers will want to collect unapproved fares. And because of that, they will not stay in the terminals or the lorry stations to pick passengers. They will go along the routes, and under that kind of framework, they are not under any authority any longer. And they charge unapproved fees and making it difficult for the commuters, which we felt it was not proper. A conversation with the GPRTU, we decided to put a task force that is currently working to ensure that they will take inventory of all such drivers who are refusing to stay at their stations or terminals to help our commuters get home safely. And we realized that they were doing so and creating a kind of shortage of vehicles. So whatever they said, the passengers obliged. So we decided to do an interim measure of mopping up some buses, both Metro Mass Transit Limited, Intercity, STC, and now talking to other private people who have vehicles to join, such that when they return from their long routes activities, they will have some free space for the vehicle to stay before the following day's activity. We get such vehicles on the roads to the stations, and then they will support our commuters. So we're able to do that with 4 main corridors, which I must say that it is helping. But you understand the period. This is the festive period that everybody is moving.
So these are not new buses. They
are not new buses.
You are mobilizing
just an arrangement we made with the STC, the Metro Mass Transit Limited, to be able, when they return, like say, if you have a trip for Kumasi and you return and the next trip is tomorrow, we bring you out to serve the people. So it was that kind of mopping up buses.
So how many were you able to get per route?
We initially announced 8, but some days we do 10, 11, and 12. It depends on the availability of the buses at a particular time. But always, we have never operated below the 8.
So these buses are not necessarily branded. They are just state support buses that you release on the route.
Yes. If it is a metro vehicle that is already branded, it is used in that capacity. If it is STC that is branded, it is used in that capacity. But they are not brand new vehicles that is ordered in for this kind of purpose. We are just doing internal arrangement to be able to serve our people.
So what rate do they charge?
The same approved rates for all the other stations and terminals.
And how long is it going to run for?
We are intending to early next year, and we evaluate it and do an evaluation of it and see the impact and then the way forward.
That's interesting, because already the two companies you mentioned themselves will say they need their own buses. I know STC need more buses generally. I'm not sure of Metro Mass as well. So even with this temporary arrangement, what is the plan for retooling STC itself?
Thank you, Bernard. It is a headache to us in the ministry, and also I want to thank the President for his concern. Just last week, we were able to get the Ghana Commercial Bank, and then the President himself sat in the meeting with the STC management for us to see how we will get them to support STC to acquire almost 300 buses.
Wonderful.
We are on course, and I'm very certain very soon STC will begin to receive new fleet that is supported by the Ghana Commercial
So
Bank.
This will be buses they purchase?
They will purchase, and then the Ghana Commercial Bank will do all the arrangements to support us have more buses. So if they are able to bring in the first phase between 250 to 300 buses, it will be a yearly activity that at every time we are going to bring in over 150 buses to support their operations. Same arrangement is being made for Metro Mass Transit Limited, so that the buses will be supplied in phases. Every year we will renew their fleet.
So this will be new buses brought?
New buses.
Without jinxing it, are you able to give me a period when you expect the first few to come? We are in December. Can we say March, first quarter? Will we have buses by end of first quarter?
God willing, we should have buses by end of first quarter for all the two states companies.
Because the STC themselves have been talking, and I've heard the Deputy CEO say that the place they met has many challenges, and they even spoke about the fact that it's almost difficult to get any bank to support them. So was it the President's personal intervention that sort of convinced GCB to agree to support them to get these buses?
Before the President would have agreed to talk to any bank, there were some inner arrangement we have to do. Now put them on their own tools to see how they can be able to manage what they have. And we have seen improvement in their daily mobilization of funds or their activities. The little buses they have, they are beginning to make profit. That is clear indication to us that should we do any arrangement for them, they will be able to pay for it. And with the bank, the Ghana Commercial Bank arrangement, all necessary payments will be automated. And if Bernard is buying a ticket, say 100 Ghana cedis, the percentage that will go to Ghana Commercial Bank, direct Ghana Commercial Bank. Whilst we are also working to block all the loopholes. A lot of the buses will come with a kind of technology in them that you can monitor at all times what a particular bus is doing, how many people are in the bus, and it will be automated such that you can do cash, not cash payment, automatic or electronic payments. If you have a card, you have Momo, all those payments will be encouraged, so that it will not be the business of a collector having a bag hang in front of him, and at all times nobody knows how the charges are being collected. And so it came with an improved performance. That is why the bank, having done a due diligence on the activities we presented to them, is willing to give support for us to acquire
Minister,
more
so
buses.
thank you for this. STC is generally intercity, and there's Metro Mass also is intercity. the original problem you are trying to solve with the interim service is more intra, where you are looking Amasaman to Accra, or you are looking at Denta Dodowa to Accra, and also Kasua and Tema. What is the plan for that type of thing? Because your intervention is temporary. And I'm looking at two in one question. Question two, there's also BRT, which originally was to solve that type of problem. But we understand now it's not under your ministry. So can you speak about intra-city transport and then
clearly,
BRT?
To deal with intra-city activities, that solely is between the Metro Mass and the Ayalolo.
Okay.
That is supposed to mop up our passengers and be able to get them to wherever they want to go safely. But over the years, Metro Mass and Ayalolo have not seen any renewal of their fleets. So they are operating under capacity. That is why we have to bring in STC to help. And even with this arrangement I've made, Ayalolo is also contributing. They joined all of a sudden to also support. I had a discussion with the Minister for Local Government where Ayalolo now sits. And they are also having plans. I'm not here to announce what the plans they have to renew their fleet. We believe that if we're able to organize more buses for STC, for Metro Mass and Ayalolo, they'll be able to serve the Ghanaian people, especially having within the inner cities, such that is where the trouble is. More people travel within than the long haul distances. And so if we renew Metro Mass, if we renew STC, their fleets, and then the Ayalolo is also given same attention, in a long way we'll be able to service our people.
So is your colleague minister telling you that he's revamping Ayalolo?
Definitely. That is the conversation I had with him when we had this issue of so many passengers stranded along the streets within these festive periods. And one of the areas we will be visiting together is the Tudu branch of the Ayalolo. A portion of it is the place we want to open these 24-hour services for DVLA, because we want to create all the terminals to have DVLA offices so that even if you are a driver at any terminal or any lorry station, you can quickly renew your car documentations and easy as we go. So we'll be visiting there together, and that is where we had this discussion as to how we will all retool our companies to let them serve the people.
Mobility is directly under your ministry. The biggest challenge we hear from our listeners and viewers, at least in the past 2 weeks, Accra, Kumasi, has been traffic. Is this your responsibility to ease traffic in town? There's been so much traffic on the motorway. This weekend, traffic at East Legon, Kumasi, people complain of traffic. Is it something you can do anything about within this next few days?
We can do something, and we will do something. It has to start with us, the discipline that we have to attach to our daily activities. If you are a driver having a vehicle that is not strong enough to speed at a certain rate and create space, you use the outer lane. If you are a trotro driver and you go and park at the middle of the road to pick passengers, definitely you create some delays. And we as a people will have to begin to look at the re-engineering of our routes. Most of these routes have been in existence for God knows when. And it is time that we re-engineer them. And like I said the other time, we are lucky that the current Minister for Roads and Highways has in-depth knowledge in route construction. And with his experience, he will be able to design and construct routes that will be able to accommodate more of the traffic. And that is where big push comes in. If all this, especially Kumasi, if the express road is finished, it is going to ease congestion. That is why His Excellency President Mahama feels that those busy routes should be given attention and not necessarily building the road to Kumasi, by opening up the country, opening up the capital, such that the vehicles can move. We are also, as a ministry, looking at other interventions that will ease up congestion from the road, take traffic from the road to, say, the coast, marine and inland water services. Also look at the rail sector, Those are the areas. And also look at aviation. That is where we feel that we should open up more airports. People who want to have a fast travel will be able to go by air. Those who want to go by the coast, they will do so. Currently, I'm happy as a minister to say that we have had an investor who has brought in 2 ships, bigger vessels that will soon start operations from the coast through to Nigeria. He will now be taking passengers and cargo from Ghana through Togo, Benin to Nigeria. And we believe that that will ease the congestion on the water route through to Benin. And he will start.
So this is for both passenger and cargo?
Passenger and cargo.
So is it Tema or Takrady or Accra?
So it is going to take from Accra through Lomé, through Cotonou, and then finally
by sea?
By sea.
Goods and human beings?
Goods and human beings. If you have your vehicle, you wouldn't want to spend any time on the roads with high traffic.
When is this starting?
By February, he should start operations because he's far gone.
Let me just wrap up on the traffic. We are told there are 3 E's: education, engineering, and enforcement. When you talk about your road minister colleague, clearly you are talking about engineering. There seems to be a challenge with enforcement. People feel like a lot of the traffic is caused by indiscipline. Let me give an example. Tiptoe lane in Kroma Circle. You are driving from Adabraka and you are going on Achimota Road. 3 lane becomes 1 lane because trotro drivers have taken 2. MTTD are wearing white. They are just walking there, greeting the hands of, basically just shaking the driver's hands. Is this within your remit or is this within the Interior Ministry? If there's no enforcement of road traffic regulations and it limits mobility, should we blame you or blame Muntaka, the Interior Minister?
Bernard, I don't think that we should be looking for a particular ministry or agency to blame. We as a people will have to collectively agree that we have a challenge and see how we can fix it. Yes, my responsibility is the road sector services, the craft on the road. But as to enforcement of our laws, it lies in the domain of the Ministry of Interior. And the construction of those roads too lies in the domain of the Ministry of Roads and Highways. But I'm responsible of the crafts on the road that is being used, the services on the road. Now, I had a conversation with the Minister for Local Government again, and I've transmitted a letter through him to the regional ministers and MMDCs. It's also their responsibility to support us at all districts to ensure that our drivers remain committed and disciplined and law-abiding drivers. And they have to get up. And I want to take this opportunity to single out the Kumasi Mayor for praise. He has started doing things that he was on some of the drivers who were refusing to charge their proof first, and he was out there. And I think that it is a good activity that he was doing, even though some people will blame him. But as a chief executive of the Metropolitan Assembly, your people matter, and that the Minister for Local Government has promised to communicate same to the MMDCs to also support the enforcement of all the laws that govern the road sector. And again, we had a conversation with the Greater Accra Regional Commander to get him put more of his men on the roads to ensure that they enforce whatever laws that we have. I agree with you. It's not about the laws we have. It's about how we enforce our laws to let them become more applicable for the people and serving the people. And that is where the Interior Ministry comes in. And I want to urge that sometimes the pressures on them is too much, considering the number of officers they have that will be able to get on our roads and enforce our laws. However, no matter the number, I want to encourage them to do more and enforce our laws.
Let me end the road segment with road